Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. Hope everyone had an amazing day out there today. Hey, in this choppy market, I would still call it choppy, and we'll explain why. In this choppy market, as long as you're making money, or as long as you're not losing money, you should be happy. Alright, so let's get into the market. Let's explain why I am saying that it is still choppy, even though there's huge bearish action on Friday and then big bullish action today. Alright, let's take a look. So essentially, it comes down to, let's see, Wednesday. It comes down to what happened, how the close was on Wednesday going into Friday open, and then Friday close going into today's open. So let's do 8 hours. 8-hour chart should show us exactly what I'm talking about here. Wednesday, where's Wednesday? All right, so this is Wednesday. This is Wednesday's close, somewhere around here. Already. Now let's do 8 hours. All right, so the Wednesday's close. Regardless, we are seeing a close above that key zone that I was talking about. So Wednesday was a strong close, but coming into Friday, open. By the time the market opened on Friday, which was 26. Yeah, Friday open. This was the Friday open candlestick. We were down here. From the close of Wednesday to a strong close on Wednesday, gap down on Friday. And then Friday's close was near the low of day into open of today, which is right here, into gap up on today. So market ultimately is still choppy in my personal opinion, personal humble opinion. Friday, again, Wednesday high, gap down, open on Friday. Friday low close, gap down on Monday open. So be careful of your sizing. There is no clear direction yet. Ultimately, today is a inside bar day, and we are seeing a little bit of a rejection from that daily 8. So there is no clear trend, clear direction yet. Ultimately, I would consider today as a bounce day. If we're looking at the 4 hours, this is a higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and regardless of what's going on here, we are still seeing a lower high being formed as of right now. Until that 4720 is broken, 4-hour trend has not changed yet. Already has changed, however, in the sense that we're looking at lower low, lower high, lower low, and then became lower high, higher low, somewhere in between here, into higher high. So the hourly trend has changed to bullish now, and we are seeing a little bit of a hold on that already 8. So choppy market, understand what the market is at, understand what environment you're playing in, and be careful of your sizing into swings. Now let's take a look at the market indicators. US is ultimately still in the bullish trend, nothing to worry there. US 10 years, there is that head and shoulders concern, depending on where you want to draw the shoulders. You know, you could say it's over here. You could say that, you know, right shoulder. Ultimately, I'm looking at the longer time frame. This is the head and shoulders pattern. Neckline slightly almost broke on Friday. And this is why I was saying the bulls must hold over here on the neckline. We are still seeing bearish daily 8 rejection on US 10 years. VIX, huge drop today, almost did that gap fill. Now while we're talking about VIX, let's take a look at UVIXY, because that's the one with the positions that we are in. UVIXY, very nice play here. We sold into, so we entered somewhere around here on that Adam Eve pattern, as well as the daily bull divergence. Where was it? Somewhere around here. Maybe not on UVIXY, but on VIX itself. So there is daily bull divergence on VIX, and we enter somewhere around here. And we saw a huge gap up and run on Friday. Took some profits, took a lot of profits, actually 3/4 of profits. And we entered today towards the end of day. And the reason why we decided to re-enter on the position is, if you look at this chart, long-term descending wedge. Finally breaking out Adam Eve pattern. We should see follow through, and we saw very nice gap up and buying yesterday, and today coming back to gap fill that gap that was left behind on Friday, as well as backtest this previous upper trend line. Love what the chart is doing. I do believe there should be a little bit more upside, if not, you know, at least coming back down near that Friday's high. So with that being said, am still conservative on today's bullish positions. There is a lot of tickers that we gotta cover, so let's speed through them. First one, let's finish the market first. US gold US dollars. So we are still seeing a hold of this lower trend line. The bulls must hold this trend line. We are seeing a bounce from this support, previous support resistance, a wick right from it. And tomorrow we're going to need to see that bullish action coming in. And if it does, that is another added concern to the bulls market overall, the Santa rally, whatever you want to call it. All right, next, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, daily. Hey, we closed above that 88. Now gonna have to watch if tomorrow is gonna be another day like this, closing above the 88, immediate sell-off. There is still that potential, but ultimately right now, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong time frame because there is one more hour left on today's candlestick, and then we're gonna be looking at tomorrow and gonna need that follow through after this run, closing above the 88. There is bullish, increasing bullish volume. Overall looks good on the chart. This is a daily higher low. So the daily higher low is potentially in. Let's see if we held the 0.5. So ultimately we lost the 0.5 ever so slightly. If we were to see a bounce here, I would anticipate a new high above 69,000. This is a strong daily bear divergence that's having minimal pullback. So the chart, if we were to break over, let's see, if we were to break over 60,030, I would anticipate new all-time highs. Chart remains strong. Let's take a look at HIVE. I believe there's a color that you are playing bearish on HIVE. So keep an eye on Bitcoin. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. If Bitcoin were to break bullish above that 60,030, would be careful on your bearish position. Now looking at this, there is a potential for new highs forming that head and shoulders, that actual right shoulder. So there's no clear right shoulder over here yet, but if we were to go over a higher, then we should form a shoulder over here, and that would be a concern. So that's HIVE. All right, let's get into the hottest tickers. First one, always Tesla. We should just consider this a market instead of a hottest tickers. Anyways, so Tesla remaining strong. Oh, a bounce to the 0.786 and then retracing to GP, bouncing from the top of the GP. We're seeing continuation right now into closing over that 88. If this is the daily higher low, now of course this wedge is not formed yet, but this is what I'm anticipating potentially to happen. We're gonna have to see what the next price action upward looks like. Considering if this is a daily higher low, the 1-to-1 extension target is at 1286. So there's a potential that we can see new all-time high really soon here. If we were to see new all-time high, there is going to be a strong daily bear divergence that can be forming. Tesla always remaining on top watch. Relative strength to the market today. I was somewhat. And if you look at the volume, very low bearish volume on Friday, and now we're seeing bullish volume coming in. I do believe there should be a little bit more sideways action before we see new all-time high on Tesla. And next one is MTTR. Matterport, congrats to Darren, our newest member for, well, not newest anymore, but hey, congrats Darren to your position regardless. What an amazing move on Matterport today. 21%, and after hours is up 0.45%. We're looking at a close near the high of day. After hours unable to make new high so far. But based on the chart, we are in new all-time high. So this was on top watch for us in our trading community. We talked about the daily bull flag here, slight close under, 2 slight closes under that 88 with immediate buying up action. And we entered this trade on Friday. So far, the trade has already proven to be over 100%. And we will be looking at further upside coming into tomorrow. If that is not the case, that is a huge red flag, and I will be considering taking some profits off. So that's Matterport. Congrats to all bulls, Matterport bulls out there. Next one is Lucid. Very similar idea, but we're not in new all-time highs. Look at this chart, huge move from 23 all the way, gap up, continuing running. So this was the, I can't remember what news it was, but it was gap up, continuing running, daily bull flag confirmation, daily bull flag confirmation. We're now seeing another daily bull flag with 0 closes under that 88. This chart, I know you may think it's expensive considering that, you know, your first entry might have been with us back here at 23, 22 kind of area, and now it is over 150% higher. But regardless, you know, if you're looking at your first entry, might have been down here if you nail the bottom. Right now the chart is 243% higher. But hey, when the chart tells you strength still exists, we are still going to play it. So with this, we are seeing a daily bull flag, and that is potential confirmation going into tomorrow. Nice, decent increasing bull volume today. Let's see if we're gonna need to see that follow through tomorrow. So that's Lucid. Next one is TTD, trade desk. The trade desk. Is it the? Yeah, the trade desk. So very similar chart to MTTR Matterport. This is in new all-time high. We are seeing daily bull flag. Whoo, no close under that 88. What a sexy chart. It is not overbought. It wasn't overbought before. So even if we're to make new all-time high, I don't anticipate this to form a daily bear divergence. Slight increasing on volume. That's the only thing. Not seeing too much volume coming in, but there is not a whole lot of bear volume either. So the way I'm reading this chart is there's not a whole lot of sellers as of yet right now in this blue sky breakout. I had an alert set here over at 98.28, but did not come back to hit. So close. Look at this. Look at this. Previous all-time high, wick, rejection, and then bull break, coming back, wick, did not wick to gap fill. Actually, there's no gap, sorry. It did not wick to back test this previous all-time high. Come on, so close. Anyway, so the chart is still remaining strong. We are looking at potential continuation. This is going to be a top watch going into tomorrow. I don't know if there's relative strength. There is that a little bit concern of if the market were to turn bearish, this chart could be coming right back down because there is a lack of bull volume. Alright, so that's it for the hottest tickers. Next ones up are the requested tickers. First one is AXP. American Express. Hey, American Express. It's been a long time since we looked at this chart. Since way back here around 110s, 120s, January. So almost a year coming up since we looked at this. So let's clean the chart up a little bit here. Channel, let's see if we're to extend this channel, does the trend line still work? Somewhere over here? No, it does not. Okay, so we will be removing this channel. Let's extend this out, see if that is still a, actually no, let's redraw this. Okay, so there's a very key price action, very key zone over here. Where is that bottom of the zone? Okay, that makes somewhat sense. That makes sense to me. This makes sense too. And another zone down below over here somewhere. It didn't come back to backtest before. We're gonna have to draw this more so like this. And previous all-time high zone, breakout, backtest, and run. So we won't need this one anymore. Could be more so over here. Let's see if there's a lower. Lower trend line is broken already. Ooh, big gap down. Yeah, so we saw 1, 2, 3 supports before gap down. Huge bearish volume. There is a bearish play in here. Oh yeah, there's a bearish play here. Look at this. Perfect head and shoulders pattern. Let's do over here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and neckline right here. Broke bearish, gap down, back test, immediate back test to that neckline, short-term trend line, and then continuation to the downside. Oh, there is a nice bearish play in here. We're definitely late to it. So looking at this, you know, we're late by 12% already on AXP, American Express. Now it's a matter of how far. Let's see how far this is gonna go. 6K, yeah. So already way past the 1-to-1 extension target. I would anticipate at least 1 to 2, but let's see how the 1 to. Okay, so they're trying to hold the 1 to 1.618 right now, which somewhat lines up with the key zone from back here, the key support resistance. If that is lost, that 150, the previous 2 days low, 154.50, 154.34, near double bottom. If that is lost, I would anticipate further downside to come. There is a strong support resistance coming up at 151.46. We are a little bit extended on the daily. So there is potential bounce play here, but we're not too far extended to be an ideal bounce play. But with AXP, I would be looking more so to the downside play upon the next lower high. So with this, what I'll be looking at is a bounce from here. If there's going to be a bounce, oversold bounce, immediate back test of this previous trend line before further downside right here. And the reason why we say right there, we're going to remove this. This one is, yeah, that's still, actually, yeah, let's remove this. We will draw as a key zone instead. So looking at this, I would say over here, you can see clear resistance, clear support, clear rejection again. So that is definitely a key zone over there. So with that, if we're come back to backtest this trend line, backtest that daily 8, and see a sign of rejection, this is what I'll be expecting on AXP. There is a potential very nice bearish play here. Follow through for that head and shoulder play. Let's set an alert on the low of these two. If we were to bounce, see, oh, actually that makes complete sense. Multiple rejections here, chopping around, support, support, slight rejection, another support here. So that 167.14 is very key price action. If there's gonna be a bounce, I would anticipate the bull is gonna need to bounce it fast. If not, we will be looking at potential for daily bear flag formation. All right, so that's it for AXP. Next one is QCOM. And as we're covering QCOM, I'm going to be covering all of the semis. So with QCOM, I don't have any key zones drawn, but just looking at the chart simply, there is nothing but bullish volume here. Every time it gaps down, it gets bought up a little bit, and it is in blue skies breakout mode. There is no reason for selling. There's no red flags. We only lost that daily 8 on Friday, and we saw immediate buying up. The chart is so strong. Ideally, the most ideal entry would be a back test of this previous all-time high, of course, at around 168. But with this kind of chart, I would anticipate potential for further running. There is no reason for selling. Decent sideways action for some time. The only concern is potential of selling off post ex-dividend date, which happens to a lot of charts. I haven't taken a look at this chart itself, but there's potential for that post ex-dividend. People already getting their dividend. There could be a little bit of a sell-off. So with this chart, I would prefer to see a near back test of this previous all-time high, setting an alert just above it to see if we ever hit that QCOM. Actually, let's set a double alert on the break above this double top, 188.77, 188.72. The alert is set at 188.91. Upon the break, the bull break above that, will be potentially looking for an entry. QCOM looking amazing, strong chart. Same with AMD, not AMC. Same with AMD. Looking at this. Look at this. Long-term sideways action, bullish break, and coming back to back test his previous all-time high. Continuation. No bears whatsoever. Haven't lost at 88. Slight close under, immediate buy up. Whoa. Did AMD get to new all-time high today? 161, 88, 161, that's 162. Oh, it did. All-time high close on AMD as well. Strong chart. There's no reason for selling. 88 is the obvious guide. Will be low bear volume. Chart can continue to run. Just to show you guys as an example, if we're looking at MVDA, long-term sideways action. Okay, breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out, GP hold, and then we saw continuation, non-stop going up. Okay, so that's what you can expect with AMD. If you're thinking that there might be fear of missing out, you could consider just going into with commons on the new all-time high break today or early tomorrow. Take a look at what the price action looks like. But that is, if there's going to be a Santa rally, if there is, I would anticipate semis to be one of the leading sectors for that Santa rally. Next one is LRCX. Never looked at this chart before. Lam Research Corporation. New all-time high. Is this all-time high? Yep. Ooh, look at that chart. New all-time high. Blue sky breakout. Highest close ever. Decent sideways action since March. Bull volume on the breakout, looking nice. We're going to need to see that follow through tomorrow. This was previous all-time high. This is all-time high zone. So there's a clear break closing above near the high of the day. Slight concern on the RSI. Not overbought. We're not extended on daily. I would expect continuation tomorrow. If there is no continuation tomorrow, that is a slight red flag. What's a move on this? 27.53. Okay, so that's decent. 181. Ooh, I like. Okay, adding this to the watch list. LRCX. And we'll be, let's see. Let's do a key zone. Definitely something here. Probably set it to, I don't like that as much, but we'll have that there for now. Key support resistance, rejection, support, and I imagine there's another zone up here. Yeah, looks right. Okay, so two key zones. Blue sky breakout. Is there a money line here? Ooh, slight close under. We'll have it here for now. Wow! Did you see that? We're zoomed into here. We didn't even look at it here. Hey, gotta love it when technical analysis works out like this. Holy money line buying. Wow, look at this. Okay. First one, first touch, support, pandemic low. And then this second run was 128%. on the second bounce of the money line. Now let's take a look here. Did not lose that money line. Gap down, back test this previous key zone, and held that money line, straight buying up, big bull volume coming in, and then another back test of this previous money line, and we have seen a run so far, 25% run. Wow. Adding an alert on this. Adding it above today's high. I think that's above today's high. 682.29, 682.60. That looks good. Chart is amazing. I would anticipate further upside on this chart, on this bull break, new all-time high. There is not overbought. Is not extended on the daily. Chart looks amazing. LRCX. Thank you for bringing it up, Darren. All right, next one is TLRY. Probably have to redraw this wedge. Yeah, not gonna bother with it because ultimately it's already broken bull. So this descending wedge is no longer in play anyway. So there's no point redrawing it. If you're looking at this, doesn't matter how you redraw it. It has broken bull over here. So lower low, minimal to no divergences. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, yeah, lower high, higher low, higher high, and we're gonna need to hold this area right now. There's very minimal bullish volume coming in. Still very decent selling, but the ultimate low is just under $10. We do not want to lose that. Today's low is 10.03. Gonna need to see that follow through very, very soon. Gonna set an alert just under $10 just in case we do break down bearish. But yeah, the chart is looking like it's ready, almost ready. Gonna need that bull volume coming in. Chart is almost ready. So the confirmation on this play would be on the break. First entry would be on the break of 12.16 into that key zone, and then the second addition you can add is probably going to be around that 14 on the break above $14. That's the way I would play this. TLRY overall, marijuana sector looking pretty good for reversal, but still weak-ish. So might need to give it a little bit more time. Next one is MQ. Have not looked at this before either. It looks like it's a little bit more relatively new. IPO since June 9th. Market cap is 11 billion, so decent market. Volume 9.9 million, so that's pretty decent. Potential for double bottom play. Depending on how you look at this, you could call this quad bottom. 1978 here. 1995, 1993. Today is 2004. So what I like about this is, even though it is relatively weak chart, every single time we make lower prices, it's higher than the last low. So 1978, 1995, higher. 1993 slightly lower, but about double bottom. And then the red flag here is double bottom, bounce, and then there's no follow through, rejecting from 88, still on increasing bear volume. So today's low is gonna ultimately is a low risk play regardless. You can put a low under 1978. That would be the stop out. You might want to give it a little bit more room, maybe like 2 to 3% under 1978, because there is a potential for a daily bull divergence on the new low. But let's set an alert below 1978. What did I set it at? 1973. Okay, good enough. The chart is going to need more price action to determine key zones, but there is a very key support resistance right here at 29.90, psychological 30. Support, rejection, chopping around, multiple rejections, another rejection here, multiple supports here as well. So that is very notable. And then there's something down here too. Yeah, something right here. 2401. multiple supports, another support, gapping down, immediately bought up, and then slight rejection. I wouldn't really call this rejection, but here is another rejection over here, multiple rejections over here. So 2401 on this chart, you're gonna need, ideally, if you're looking to play reversal, two ways to play this. You can do a low risk entry somewhere around right now, and then put a stop 2% below that 1978, or wait for that new low for the bullish divergence to play, or my apologies, three ways, or wait for the actual reversal above that 88, because you can clearly see this has been guiding it down. Rejection on 88, rejection, gap up, and then rejection, ultimately another rejection on 88. Same with the next day, trying to buy it up, and then rejection again. So this is earnings reaction, and then almost touched that 88, but ultimately it was a rejection again. Another one here, and another one today. So 88 is the clear guide on MQ. Actually, you might want to, what I would actually do instead is put a strangle alert. All right, next one is TWO. I have looked at this chart, but I have not shared it. I think a Twilio? Sorry. So key zone. What I don't like about this chart is the key zones above. The higher it is, the bigger it is, and we generally know what that means. There is, once there's a bear break, there is generally huge follow through on the bear break, and we're seeing long-term sideways. So this is a very easy zone to play. Higher end over here, lower end over here. There is a low risk play in here. We did close above that 88, slight increasing on bull volume. Very, very minimal daily bull divergence. So there is a daily bull divergence. We're going to need to see where this bounce comes into. But if we're to break over this, what is this? Triple quad top. 316.63, 1581, 17, 16. So if we were to break over 317, that would be a very nice play into the gap fill, looking at 342.69. And with that, also potentially going back up to this upper key zone. I do have an alert set on the break of this previous resistance. It's quite some ways away, so I would rather wait for the confirmation at the break above 306, and then before I start pulling it up to the top charts, and wait for the 317 break for an entry. That's Twilio. And next one, so those are the requested tickers. Next one up is LAC. These are the hot tickers that I'm looking at or noticing. So first one, LAC, Lithium Americas Corp, blue sky breakout, closing near the high of day. Very decent bull volume. I wouldn't call it good bull volume, but there is very decent bull volume. It is slightly increasing over this longer time frame, but we are seeing bull break, new all-time high. No reason to sell. There is, if we were to look at this, so this was not the high. So if we were to look at this, yeah, I drew this already. So there's 1 to 2 extension target. We already passed it now. We'll be looking at 1 to 2.72, 2.272. And then next one up will be 1 to 2.618 extension targets. Those are the new extension targets on this chart, and the chart can continue to run. Now, keep in mind, if we're to reject from anywhere around here, we might be seeing a daily bear divergence, but that is not too much of a concern. Looking at this chart, there is potentially a lot of bullish side to come. Long-term upper trend line, bull break, fake out, and this is now a bull break, fake out continuation. Okay, LAC will remain on top watch. Next one is MRNA, and quickly discuss these ones. Next few. So today, or Friday, we saw a big gap up, continue buying, a little bit of a selling off, and today we saw gap up again, but immediate gap fill and coming in, closing near that open. Ultimately, I do believe this gap may be filled, but we're gonna have to. It's gonna be dependent on what the news look like on that new COVID strain. And if we were to, so we are at that key zone. We are having a little bit of trouble with it. Tomorrow, gonna have to see. We are extended on the daily as well. Not overbought on the daily. There is further upside potentials, but watching for reaction around this trend line first. What I would anticipate. No, actually, I'm not gonna do a prediction on this one just because it's so news based. If this were to continue, you could be looking at a rejection on this trend line, coming back down to make a higher low, potentially gap filling kind of thing. But it's not something I'm going to be playing just because it's so news driven. All right, PFE, Pfizer, 11%. Ooh, 11% on Moderna. Wow, look at that. So looking a little bit more like a potential of a cup handle pattern now. But we're going to have to see with next day. This is a very, very bearish candle today. Increasing bear volume. Bearish engulfing candlestick. I would anticipate, based on today's candle, I would anticipate that we're going to be seeing a daily higher low from here. And if we do, the areas we'll be looking at. Backtest of previous all-time high at first. That's going to be the 0.382. Let's draw out the... Oh, wow. Long time since the all-time high here, eh? So this is a... I wonder... Let's see. All-time high. If you were to do a weekly chart on this, you may be able to... No, this is all-time high. Feed code. No, does not work. No, scratch that. All right, so let's draw a previous all-time high zone. That's a relatively big zone, and we saw resistance from here as well. So I would anticipate, if this is gonna be based on today's candle, if we're to see follow through at the very minimum backtest of this previous all-time high area around lining up with the 0.382 around $50. Psychological resistance as well. That's Pfizer. Next one, FSR. Whew, look at that bullish volume today. Sorry, bullish action today. Not so much volume. We're going to need to see ideally increasing volume tomorrow. Have an alert set on this, but will not be trading until that is broken. This, ultimately, if this was a daily higher low, we held the 0.386. Very, very strong. 0.382, my apologies. 0.382, very strong chart. Now it's a bit scary. It's a bit scary playing this one. If you look at the key zones, it is bigger on the top as well. So if we're to break this previous high, 23.75, you can expect new all-time high on the horizon. But I don't like the chart as much. To be honest, if we're to make new highs, we could be looking at daily bear divergence, but it's just something that you might want to keep on top watch. Next one is docs. Oh, potential reversal today. I don't know why there's nothing drawn on this one and just an alert set, but that key price to break is 66.50. We closed just above it. Oh, nice. So there is potentially a very nice play here, but I would rather see a break above 70 for an entry, because ultimately you're going to be playing that trend reversal. So if we're looking at trend reversal, 76.88 is the last lower high coming into this low here. That makes sense. If you break above 69, that will be above the GP. So then I will start keeping an eye on it for that daily higher low for the reversal confirmation. But as of right now, okay, so there is another. Oh, we didn't touch it. As of right now, it is doing a bearish trend. Looks like there's a upper trend line as well. Let's see how we're going to draw this. Nope, that still doesn't work. There's an upper trend line somewhere. That's the high. I don't really like this chart. is not respecting the, maybe I just can't find it, but let's see, maybe here, almost. Okay, it's gonna have to be that, you know, rejection, multiple rejections, never closed above. It does work over here as well, never closed above, closing right on the next day, rejecting another rejection here, another 2 rejections here. So this makes sense. I would set an alert here instead, but it's gonna be one of those 2. So DOX is gonna be on top watch for reversal play potential. We're gonna need to break over this GP first. Right, last but not least, SPLK. Hey, a lot of new tickers for you guys today. SPLK, looking at this chart, whoo, there's potential for both ways. Big plays both ways. You know, looking at this money line, okay, money line, big bounce, huge bounce, more than 100% bounce. Come on, chart. Okay, 93, 92, good enough. Over here, this was 140% bounce from that money line, and then we saw another couple more money line bounces. We are right on that money line while we're a little bit extended on that daily earnings. The only problem with it is the earnings is coming up. We are a little bit oversold. I would anticipate that maybe there's a bounce, maybe the event catalyst for this chart is the earnings for this to see a reversal. And if we were to see a reversal, there's a big gap left behind for it to fill. The problem with it is there is also a head and shoulders over the long term, the weekly head and shoulders, is it? Yeah, weekly head and shoulders potential with the neckline being the money line. So SPLK, something to watch, but just set an alert. I have a strangle alert set right now for when it does break, maybe pull it up. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Hey, a couple things to remember. 250 subs. We're still not there yet. Come on, guys. 250 subs. We are going to be doing a giveaway. Also, free memberships to our online trading Slack chat group has just opened up. We are limiting it to 20 members, 20 individuals as a first enrollment period. So make sure you check us out. It is going to be in the description down below, as well as a description in our intro video. And hope you guys enjoy the content. If you know anyone who may benefit from the content we share, please do consider sharing our channel with them. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.